The metal clanging against damp rock is the only thing left at Eilean Mor Lighthouse, a lonely sentinel in the Flannan Isles where time seemed to rot in December 1900. When the relief crew stepped onto that Atlantic battered stone, they found no signs of the struggle, only a silence that weighed like lead. In the kitchen, the keeper's last meal remained untouched. Plates served, chairs pushed back in a hurry, as if something had severed a mundane moment with absolute and violent finality. The wall clock, starved of its winding, marked the exact hour reality chose to stop. But the true horror wasn't what was missing. It was what had been left behind. James Duckett, Thomas Marshall, and Donald MacArthur simply evaporated from the face of the earth, leaving the gates and lighthouse doors securely bolted. The detail that chills the blood of any maritime investigator to this day is MacArthur's oilskin coat, still hanging on its indoor hook. No seasoned keeper in their right mind would face a brutal outer Hebrides winter without his protective gear. Stepping out into the storm chest bare would be instant suicide, unless, of course, what called him outside wasn't the wind, but something that mimicked an urgent need for a response, something that bypassed human survival instincts entirely. In the recovered logbook records, Ducat's handwriting describes a storm of apocalyptic proportions, claiming that MacArthur, a veteran hardened by decades at sea, was crying and praying in a corner, terrified by forces he couldn't comprehend. However, the logs of ships passing the area on those same dates, and the meteorological diaries from neighboring islands, tell a different story. The sea was as smooth as a mirror, and the sky was clear. Whatever was ravaging the minds of those three men was an isolated manifestation, a distortion of perception that turned the lighthouse into a bubble of irrational panic. Strange tracks were found near the western landing, where iron moorings were twisted, as if a colossal force had tried to rip the island itself from its foundation. The theory of mimicry suggests the ocean didn't just take them, but that something in the depths learned to copy their voices, luring them out one by one from the safety of the stone walls. They weren't swept away by a wave. They walked voluntarily into the abyss, seduced or driven by a sound the human brain was never designed to process. Today, the lights of Eilean Mor still shine, but those watching from afar know the lighthouse no longer serves to guide the living. It marks the spot where three men discovered that, sometimes, the sea stops watching and decides to come inside. If you hear your name called by the wind on a calm night, remember MacArthur. Some doors should never be opened, even if the one calling has the voice of someone you love.